Welcome back to the Daily Mastermind. My name is George Wright III with your daily dose of inspiration, motivation, and education so that you can create your ultimate destiny. I'm so glad you tuned in today. I hope you're having a great start to your week. And this week, I'd like to do something a little different. We talk a lot about daily rituals. We talk about doing things that will help you to build up your mind and your motivation and inspire you. And part of those daily rituals that I do is I read. And if you're not an avid reader, you got to do that because readers are leaders, and you've got to be able to find some sources of inspiration and motivation that have been documented throughout time to make a big difference in your life. And one of those books that I'm referring to is As a Man Thinketh by James Allen. Now, this is a book written a long time ago, but it's one of the best books that I've found when it comes to creating a mindset of growth. And so what I'd like to do this week, I'm going to actually read to you from As a Man Thinketh. I'm going to read one chapter per day so that I can keep it in our time frame of 5, 10, 15 minutes so that you can accomplish a nugget of information each day. And then the other reason I'm going to be reading these is it's something that you can refer back to. You might not be an avid reader, but you can certainly go through the audiobooks. And these are some books that we'll have on our mobile app as well. But this week, I want to take you right into this book. And so As a Man Thinketh, it's going to give you a whole bunch of ideas on ways that you can create peace, serenity, growth, and really unleash your true potential. So I'm going to go ahead and get into it today. I'm going to read the foreword and chapter 1, and then tomorrow we'll read chapter 2, and the day after chapter 3, and so on. And there's 7 chapters in this book, so it'll be a small book, but it's something you can refer back to. And so I'd like you to listen, take notes. Also, if you can, go back over it and dig into these thoughts, because these thoughts and ideas are amazing once you start to dig in and really relate to them inside your life. So here we go. We'll start with the book foreword and chapter 1 today. This little volume, the result of meditation and experience, is not intended as an exhaustive treatise on the much written upon subject of the power of thought. It is suggestive rather than explanatory, its object being to stimulate men and women to the discovery and perception of that truth that they themselves are makers of themselves by virtue of the thoughts, which they choose and encourage. That mind is the master weaver both of the inner garment of character and the outer garment of circumstance, and that as they may have hitherto woven in ignorance and pain, they may now weave in enlightenment and happiness. James Allen. Okay, chapter 1, Thought and Character. The aphorism, as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he, not only embraces the whole of a man's being, but is so comprehensive as to reach out to every condition and circumstance of his life. A man is literally what he thinks, his character being the complete sum of all his thoughts. As the plant springs from and could not be without the seed, so every act of a man springs from the hidden seeds of thought, and could not have appeared without them. This applies equally to those acts called spontaneous and unpremeditated as to those which are deliberately executed. Act is the blossom of thought, and joy and suffering are its fruits. Thus does a man garner in the sweet and bitter fruitage of his own husbandry. Thought in the mind hath made us what we are. By thought was wrought and built. If a man's mind hath evil thoughts, pain comes on him, as comes the wheel the ox behind. If one endure in purity of thought, joy follows him, as his own shadow sure. Man is a growth by law and not a creation by artifice, and cause and effect is an absolute and undeviating in the hidden realm of thought as in the world of visible and material things. A noble and godlike character is not a thing of favor or chance, but is the natural result of continued effort in right thinking, the effect of long-cherished association with godlike thoughts. An ignoble and bestial character, by the same process, is the result of the continued harboring of groveling thoughts. Man is made or unmade by himself. In the armory of thought, he forges the weapons by which he destroys himself. He also fashions the tools with which he builds for himself heavenly mansions of joy and strength and peace. By the right choice and true application of thought, man ascends to the divine perfection. By the abuse and wrong application of thought, he descends below the level of the beast. Between these two extremes are all the grades of character, and man is their maker and master. Of all the beautiful truths pertaining to the soul which have been restored and brought to light in this age, none is more gladdening, or fruitful of divine promise and confidence than this, that man is the master of thought, the molder of character, and the maker and shaper of condition, environment, and destiny. As a being of power, intelligence, and love, and the lord of his own thoughts, man holds the key to every situation and contains within himself that transforming and regenerative agency by which he may make himself as he wills. Man is also the master even in his weaker and most abandoned state. But in his weakness and degradation, he is the foolish master who misgoverns his household. When he begins to reflect upon his condition and to search diligently for the law upon which his being is established, he then becomes the wise master, directing his energies with intelligence and fashioning his thoughts to fruitful issues. Such is the conscious master, and man can only thus become by discovering within himself the laws of thought, which discovery is totally a matter of application, self-analysis, and experience. Only by much searching and mining are gold and diamonds obtained, and man can find every truth connected with his being if he will dig deep into the mine of his soul, and that he is the maker of his character, the molder of his life, and the builder of his destiny, he may unerringly prove, if he will watch, control, and alter his thoughts, tracing their effects upon himself, upon others, and upon his life and circumstances, linking cause and effect by patient practice and investigation, and utilizing his every experience, even to the most trivial, everyday occurrence, as a means of obtaining that knowledge of himself which is understanding, wisdom, power. In this direction, as in no other, is the law absolute, that he that seeketh findeth, and to him that knocketh it shall be opened. For only by patient practice and ceaseless importunity can a man enter the door of the temple of knowledge. So that's our message for today. My name is George Wright III. This has been the Daily Mastermind, and I look forward to talking with you some more tomorrow. Have a great day.